He might have billions of dollars to his name, but unlike other celebrities and financial gurus, Warren Buffett prefers to live life simply. The Oracle of Omaha, which is Warren Buffett's nickname, won't be found living in a mansion in the Hollywood Hills, collecting a fleet of fancy sports cars, or dining daily on foie gras and caviar. The investing icon practices what he preaches when it comes to financial discipline, saving and paying off debt. Simple living can pay off in the inflationary environment that's emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic. Buffett warned a live stream audience of over 28 million during Berkshire Hathaway's May 1st annual meeting that substantial inflation is hitting both retail prices and wholesale prices that are being charged to businesses. Singling out Berkshire Hathaway's home building investments, Buffett said, "We've got 9 home builders. We really do a lot of housing. The costs are just up, up, up. Steel costs, just every day they're going up." When one of the world's most successful investors raises concern about rising prices, it's likely time to apply some well-tested strategies to tighten your belt. Here are 9 ways Buffett's frugality can help you save and spend wisely. Number 1. He lives in the same home he bought back in 1958. While most billionaires bulk up on expensive real estate, Buffett originally paid $31,500 for his Omaha, Nebraska home. That's around $288,700 in today's dollars. And he's lived there for over 60 years. His home is by no means tiny, however. The 6,570 square foot 5-bedroom home has had plenty of renovations and additions over the decades and is worth about $1 million today. It's also protected by fences and security cameras, and most likely has a good homeowner's insurance policy as well. Buffett has no plans to move out, calling it the 3rd best investment I ever made in a 2010 letter to Berkshire Hathaway's shareholders. Number 2. He rarely takes out loans. Buffett's one and only mortgage was on a vacation home in Laguna Beach, California, which he purchased in 1971. Although he certainly had the cash to afford the $150,000 listed seaside property, he told CNBC that he took out the 30-year mortgage loan because "I thought I could probably do better with the money than have it all be an equity purchase of the house." He decided to use the extra cash on hand for shares in Berkshire Hathaway, the company that brought him billions instead. Buffett's point about not locking up capital still resonates, and if you own your home, you have options to free up some of your own capital by refinancing at today's historically low mortgage rates. A switch today can save you thousands of dollars a year. Number 3. He buys cheap breakfast. While Buffett could simply hire a personal chef to cook him gourmet meals, he often grabs his breakfast from McDonald's on his way to work. He doesn't spend more than $3.17 on his morning meals. He once said, "When I'm not feeling quite so prosperous, I might go with the $2.61, which is 2 sausage patties, and then I put them together and pour myself a Coke." He says in HBO's documentary, Becoming Warren Buffett. $3.17 is a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, but the market's down this morning, so I'll pass up $3.17 and go with $2.95. Instead of going out for big meals or buying a latte from Starbucks every day, just make your own lunches and coffee. You can even get rewarded buying your groceries and earn cash back for future spending. He buys marked down cars. Many billionaires and millionaires keep a collection of flashy sports cars and vintage models in their garages, but Buffett allegedly prefers fixed-up automobiles that he can acquire at reduced prices. He upgraded from his 2006 Cadillac DTS to a Cadillac XTS for just $45,000 in 2014. The truth is, I only drive about 3,500 miles a year, so I'll buy a new car very infrequently, he admitted to Forbes. Whether you're opting for a brand new car or a slightly used model, you shouldn't overspend on vehicles. So don't go for the first loan you spot and look around for better deals. Make sure to shop for auto insurance rates every 6 months as well. Number 5. He doesn't splurge on brands. Buffett doesn't much care for designer suits or the latest iPhone model. He relied on his $20 flip phone for years before swapping it out for the Apple smartphone in 2020, and despite the upgrade, he doesn't use any of the iPhone's fancier functions. Buffett avoids unnecessary spending and once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Park your funds in high-yield saving accounts so they can accumulate interest and grow over time. Set aside your extra cash for an emergency fund or retirement instead of blowing it all on big purchases. Number 6. He doesn't invest with borrowed money anymore. "I've never borrowed a significant amount of money in my life. Never will. I've got no interest in it," he told students at Notre Dame in 1991. Although a young Buffett once borrowed 25% of his net wealth to buy shares, he warns investors against repeating the same mistake. Even skilled stock traders will tell you borrowing to invest can be risky. And with easily downloadable apps, like this one that lets you invest your spare change and turn your pennies into profits, there's no real need. Number 7. He does what he loves. Buffett credits some of his success to his passion for investing. "You have to love something to do well at it," he says, urging people to take the jobs they love instead of positions that look good on your resume. Even if you can't quit your full-time job to focus on the things you truly enjoy, you can certainly find the time for some affordable hobbies. Buffett himself enjoys card games and playing the ukulele. And if you're looking for a way to boost your income, capitalize on your skills and hobbies and set up your own side hustle. Number 8. He finds creative ways to save. When Buffett's first child was born, he converted a dresser drawer into a bassinet. For his second, he borrowed a crib. If you buy things you don't need, you will soon sell things that you need, the billionaire says. Buffett watches out for the small expenses before they can add up and come up with creative solutions to avoid spending more than he has to. Take a good hard look at your finances and figure out where you can cut down on. Get yourself a library card and borrow some books and movies instead of purchasing them. Or download a budgeting app to monitor your spending habits. Number 9. He uses cash, not credit. While most of us prefer the convenience of a credit card for our everyday purchases, Buffett uses hard cash. In fact, he told Yahoo Finance editor-in-chief Andy Serwer in 2019 that he uses cash 98% of the time. If I'm in a restaurant, I'll always pay cash. It's just easier. While the method may sound a bit old school, relying less on your credit card can help prevent spending money that you don't have. Using most of your available credit and falling behind on your monthly payments damages your credit score. If you're struggling to pay off your credit card debt, you might want to consider bundling it up into a debt consolidation loan with a lower interest rate. Warren Buffett's net worth is $108.2 billion in mid-2021, making him the wealthiest person in the world, according to Forbes 400. He is among the most successful investors of all time. He founded and runs the Berkshire Hathaway Company, which owns more than 60 companies, including Dairy Queen, Geico, and Duracell Battery. Buffett's father was a congressman, and he started investing at age 11. Warren Buffett is approaching his 90th birthday and is vital and engaged. Despite his unique background, Warren Buffett's tips on saving money can guide those striving for a life free from money worries. Here's how Warren Buffett saves money, even though he doesn't need to. In fact, the enormous Buffett net worth masks a lot of simple money-saving habits. Warren Buffett uses a flip phone. He buys breakfast at McDonald's. He drives a modest car. The rich Warren Buffett has simple, frugal tastes. Known to live beneath his means and to generously share his wisdom, Warren Buffett has motivated legions of investors with his knowledge and investment style. The key to Warren Buffett's success over the past 6 decades in terms of investing is not his stock-picking skills. While it is true that this has certainly helped and was certainly essential, even the best stock pickers couldn't achieve the record he has without the long-term investment mentality embedded in the Oracle of Omaha's philosophy. A great example is the case of Coca-Cola, NYSE KO. This is perhaps Buffett's best-known investment. Buffett bought more than $1 billion in Coca-Cola shares in 1988, an amount that was the then equivalent to 6.2% of the company. He started buying the shares not long after the famous Black Monday stock market crash in 1987. He added some more shares in the early 1990s, and today the overall holding is worth $21.4 billion. That was literally decades ago. Holding onto the stock since the first acquisition has required immense patience. Buffett could have sold in 1999. And if he had, he would have doubled his money in just 2 years, considering Berkshire had around 20% of its capital invested in this one position. That would have been a fantastic performance. By 1992, the stock traded as high as $11, split adjusted, up from the 1987 level of around $2.50. Buffett could have sold then for a 340% return in 5 years. For most investors, this would have been incredibly tempting, especially when the stock traded sideways between 1992 and 1994. However, between 1994 and the middle of 1998, shares in Coca-Cola charged higher. The stock hit a then all-time high of $43 in the middle of 1998. Based on comments he made at the time, it's clear Buffett thought the market was overvalued at this point. He could have sold the position and earned an incredibly desirable return. Instead, the Oracle continued to hold. When the dot-com bubble burst, Coca-Cola stock started to slide. It then traded in a range of between $30 and $20 until around the end of 2010. Buffett could have sold his position in the company at any point during this period, and he still would have earned a market-beating return, including dividends. Once again, he continued to hold. Investors can learn a lot from this approach. It might be tempting to take profits on a highly profitable position, but investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Just because you found one good investment does not necessarily mean another one will come along. Good businesses are few and far between. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and feel free to subscribe to stay updated with our future videos. Thanks for watching.